Okay, so after hearing our introduction on these two railroads, we're going to be learning today about human modification. So human modification is a design or a constructed item by humans to modify our natural environment. So you can see here that the railroads are a human modification, and also what we're going to be learning today are positive and negative attributes on human modifications. So can anybody tell me what they think a positive attribute is from this modification that you see here? Okay, good ideas, good ideas. Well, one positive attribute you can see here is that the railroads, when they first began, they expanded a lot to travel a lot throughout the country. So you can see that it provided transportation, and it also provided a lot of careers. So a lot of people were able to start working. As a negative attribute, it took away from property of landowners. So landowners were losing property based on these railroads. Now I'm going to show you a different modification from humans. On these two pictures here, you're going to see dams. On this one, you're going to see that it doesn't have a dam, and then on this one it does. So on these, they build to prevent from flooding and also creating good water flow throughout this community or city that they were built in. I'm going to play a quick video that shows how the dam can affect a community in a positive and negative attribute. Play the video. So I'm going to pause the video right here, and you can see that a positive attribute is that it creates a lot of good flow and less flooding. But we're going to continue the video to see what it does if something does happen. Play the video. Pause the video. Can anybody tell me what they think they saw wrong? Okay, good. So what you can see is that if a dam overflows, it can create a lot of damage and a lot of flooding, which is bad. So currently, a recent event we can say is the hurricane that happened in Houston. The dam overflowed, and it created not just the water that was already from the hurricane, but additional water that was already collected in the dam to overflow and create a lot of flooding for different areas and kind of ruin a bunch of buildings that were built around there. Now, moving on to another modification, I'm going to show you the city of Laredo, but from two different times. So from this time to this time, what can somebody tell me that there's been a difference? Good. You can see here that from this photo to this photo, that there's been a lot of undeveloped land grow into a lot of buildings and homes. This is called infrastructure. Infrastructure is another modification that humans do to create a living. So they can create highways, they can create jobs, they can create facilities like hospitals and stores and other places, schools, and the list can go on. So what I'm going to have you do now is that we have gone over the infrastructure. I'm going to put you in groups of 4, and I'm going to give you a poster where you're going to draw a Venn diagram like this. And on that poster, I want you to write the positive and negative attributes of infrastructure. So I'm going to put you in groups of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to have group 1 over here, group 2 over here, group 3 over here, and group 4 over there. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to finish this Venn diagram. And don't forget, if you think it has a good positive attribute, I want you to write it on this side, and if it has a bad or negative attribute that you think happens with infrastructure, I want you to write it on this side. And anything that you think is neutral between them, you can put it in the middle. Give you a couple of minutes to finish that. Good, now that everybody has finished with their presentations, or creating their Venn diagrams, y'all are going to come up one by one, each group, and y'all are going to do an oral presentation. So this oral presentation, I want each individual to say at least one positive and negative attribute, and then discuss why they think they thought that from every group. We're gonna give everybody a good minute to say their presentation. Good, now that everybody has presented and each student has spoken and said a good, positive, and negative attribute they thought was part of their Venn diagram, I want everybody to go back to their desk and individually write a reflection on what they thought human modification was, and I want you all to give an example of this human modification, and in the example give a positive and negative attribute that corresponds with that. Once you're done, you can pass it over to me and I'll collect it. Thank you.